This is for the folks that love Chinese food, grilling their meats, and love a good sauce. Sure enough, we've got Char Siu sauce coming up here for this recipe that I've made, and I gotta tell you, oh my god, this came out good. And we got a different approach to making this. If you're interested, head on over to kcknh.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And of course, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Now, sure, you could easily go to a store and pick up a bottle of Char Siu or the Aso sauce that they talk about up in New England a lot. However, if you're like me, you like to be able to cook from scratch, and it's so much more fun to develop flavors on your own. And I've actually found a couple of ingredients that we could actually take out and replace with others that give the same result. We all love grilled foods. The meats are probably the number one thing everyone's going to say universally. We love a good sauce. So why not try this recipe for my Char Siu sauce? We are not using the red food color that's typically used, and I'm not using hoisin. I actually chose not to. I was able to build up this sauce in a whole different way with the same result. Now, you will see in the recipe Shaoxing wine is used. If you are someone who is restricted due to your religious choices, the only viable substitute would be apple cider vinegar or apple juice without the extra sugar. Otherwise, you're going to mess this up. It's not going to come out the way you need it to. So the easiest part is it's a one bowl, guys. You can't get any better than that. Easy cleanup. With apricot preserves, that's what I actually use to replace the hoisin. You do have to beat the crap out of it. But it has sweet and savory all together in that. And the fact that it's a preserve, it actually helps me put in just enough sweet and savory together. I don't have to add sugar to this because of that, so it's more controlled. Now, I've said it before, I usually have a stockpile of ginger and garlic puree, 1-to-1. It's very easy to keep. I probably use it within 3 to 4 days. We use a lot. But puree is definitely the way to go, guys. Now, I'm using a product here that is a spicy pepper honey option. I'll have some more information a little later in the video, but into this bowl, we're going to add that spicy pepper honey. Now, this has a little bit of warmth to it. It's got a good control on the back of the palate, and then it dies down. Now, my husband usually can't have stuff like this, but when he had this sauce, he had no problem with it. So I know for those that are capsaicin sensitive, you should be okay. So make sure you're mixing this really well. We've got some thick and thin fluids here, so we really got to get this to get married as best as possible. And it does eventually dissolve together. And as you can see, that color is coming through, and it's almost a dark red. I'm very excited because we don't want to do food coloring in this. It's a personal choice, not a freak thing with, people getting all bent out of anguish on a food color. I don't use it. So now, if you're interested, please head over to madrussianapothecary.com. They are out of Derry, New Hampshire, if you're interested in trying their honeys. And as always, let's take a look at the final result. I used this sauce for different ways of working with pork. And first up is our pork belly. Look at the color. Proof you don't need food coloring, guys. And we cook down the sauce also to drizzle it on top of our pork belly. And we've got grilled pork tips with the Char Siu sauce over rice and some stir-fry veg. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, happy cooking.